Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. Presenting for us this time is Brenda Xia, one of our BSAP finalists from Ryerson University. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So just before we get started, I'd like to quickly introduce a few of the people attending today's webinar. We have Tom Griffin, Assistant Professor of the Ted Rogers School of Hospitality and Tourism Management at Ryerson University, as well as Carol Greenwood from the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario. A representative from Transat is viewing the webinar as well. And here at Baxter Media, we have Wendy McClung, Emily McClung, Ashley Rochfort, Ian Stalker, and I'm Dan McDonald. So for everyone viewing today's webinar on the computer, if you have any questions during the presentation, just type them into the Q&A box found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after the presentation is finished. Okay, Brenda, if you'd like to go ahead and share your screen, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're very welcome. There we go.
All right. Paris, the city of light, invokes romantic emotions in anyone who has ever visited. The century-old city is the most visited city in the world, and for good reason. There are plenty of things to do in Paris, and it's a truly dream place for everyone. Hello, my name is Brenda, and I will be doing the presentation today. Agenda of the day, we will be starting off the Paris overview, then moving forward to Air Transat and Paris, tourism market and offerings, as well as travel agents. So let's first start with some background information of the city. Paris is located in West Europe, as you can see from the world map, and Toronto is located in the east part of North America, which makes it relatively close. More information about Paris: it's the capital of France. The official language there is French, but English is widely spoken, so language barrier shouldn't be a big concern when it comes to international travelers. We do need to notice that it is 6 hours ahead of Toronto in time zone. The currency there is, they use euro, and there's 1.56 exchange rate. Great climate, weather all year round, 9 to 13 degrees during spring, fall, 15 to 25 during summer, and 2 to 5 degrees during winter. It has more than 2,000 years old of history, and it has more than 2 million population living in Paris, with a very diverse ethnic group, and it is LGBTQ friendly. With that being said, the diversity can attract people, let tourists to be truly comfortable staying in Paris. Moving forward to why Paris is a huge tourism destination. It has more than 36 million visitors in Greater Paris, with half of them from international visitors. It's rated third most popular tourism destination in the world. 12% of employees in Paris actually work in tourism-related industry. And Canada is actually the 6th largest foreign market. So, Air Transat and Paris. I will be giving you a brief introduction of Air Transat and the flights they offer to Paris. Air Transat is Canada's #1 holiday travel airline. It's Montreal-based and has more than 30 years of operation. It's a leading integrated international tourism company, and it offers holiday travel, air transportation, accommodation, travel packaging, and distribution, and it operates in Canada, US, Europe, and South America. Flights to Paris. The research online shows that there were 2 cities that offer the direct flights: from Montreal, which operates daily, and from Quebec City, which operates every Sundays. And we can see that it's usually overnight flights, and it's less than 7-hour duration. And if you're going to depart from Toronto, Calgary, or Vancouver, you can choose connecting flights and have layover in Montreal. Aircraft. Air Transat, all the flights they offer to Paris, it use 3 types of aircraft: A323, A322, and A310. They have different seat capacity in economy class. While they offer relatively similar entertainment system, all of them, they have entertainment system to keep the passengers occupied during the 7-hour flight. We do need to notice that the direct flights from Montreal, they have individual touch screens for them to browse movies, play games, while if you're going to depart from Quebec City, you have Class A app before departure, and then you can use the app from your laptop or your phone while on board. Flight prices. This is a brief screenshot that I took from to Montreal in April 2018. They use a tiered pricing strategy by class, have equal, extra, eco max, and club. With very fairly priced. It's actually much cheaper than most of other airline flights. There's a different tiered levels of services as well in terms of meal service, seat selection, baggage claims, and cancellation. And the table below shows a seasonal price changes throughout the years. We can notice that during July and August, it has the highest price other than other months. Air Transat also offers sales and promotions. Sometimes on selected days, they will have cheap flights and the cheap packages with hotels. Airports in Paris. There were 3 international airports in Paris. The one that Air Transat arrives at is Charles de Gaulle Airport. As you can see in the graph, it's the one far north. You may think it's very far away from downtown, but they offer all kinds of transportation from the airport. We do need to notice that by train, it only takes about 20 to 30 minutes. And then by taxi, they have a flat rate of 50 or 55 euros. You also have the choice of car rental or buses. The well developed, it has internet and Wi-Fi, telephone and SIM card, ATM currency exchange. They even have baby and children care as well as duty-free shopping. Once you have arrived in Paris, there are a few things that you need to notice. One is the entry requirements. You need to have a valid passport. And if you're a Canadian, you actually do not need to have a tourist visa as long as you stay no longer than 90 days, which is a really great asset to attract Canadian visitors. Health, you do need to consider about having your routine records done, as well as doing some research regarding there's some disease over there. Law and culture is a bit different in Paris, as you must be over the age of 18 to drive vehicles. And if you're carrying more than 10,000 euro or related equipment currency, you need to make a declaration to the customs. So you may be wondering what you can do and what you can see in Paris. Well, luckily, Paris has a variety of attractions, activities, and events that meet every target market's needs. Here we talk about 6 of the most popular target markets that Paris has: honeymooners, cultural explorers, art enthusiasts, nature lovers, food tasters, and fashion shoppers. Honeymooners. We all know that Paris is the most romantic city on earth. A lot of people, they like to get married or spend their honeymoon in Paris. This is majorly due to the public display affection. This flyer there is from the movie Midnight in Paris by Woody Allen. And there are a lot of love songs and movies about Paris, and you can see a lot of celebrities get married in Paris as well. This is truly a place to be treated like royalty, and it has a lot of attractions and activities to do, as well as world-class feasting. Cultural explorer. Paris is a city with more than 2,000 years of history. It has tons of historical landmarks and museums for tourists to explore. Museum on the right is actually one of 4 biggest museums in the world. Some of the fun activities travel agents may consider is to having knowledgeable tour guides to introduce the tourists, to educate them with the brief history of Paris, as well as get to know the locals as cultural explorer, not only to get themselves in the historical side, but also to immerse in the local culture. Moving forward to art enthusiasts. Paris is truly the city of arts. It has tons of museums, art galleries, and it's roughly 10 films shot in Paris every day. It has some of the finest architectures in the world, as well as creative art events, photography, and street art. It's very diverse. It has impressionist, as well as a picture you can see there, the Picasso, the famous Picasso, and some of the world famous paintings, you can only find them in Paris. Nature lovers. Paris is not only an urban city, but it also has great nature landscapes for people to see, including more than 400 parks and public gardens, a lot of trees, and a river. Some activities you can do there, including hiking, biking, and boat rides, which relate back to the honeymooners. They can be very romantic. Food tasters. French food culture is world famous. Intangible cultural heritage. French people, they appreciate the art of good eating and drinking. They believe the process of food is to bring people, it's to focus on the togetherness, the pleasure of taste, and the balance between human beings and the nature of goods. Wine, on the other hand, is also a great concept of French food culture, is seen as the intelligent part of the meal. It has a vibrant food scene. It has almost 100 Michelin-starred restaurants, including 10 three-star restaurants, and more than 5,000 restaurants, as well as food trucks. So it offers a variety of food choices, from luxury fine dining to their signature street food, which can be more affordable to some other markets. Fashion shoppers. Paris is truly the global fashion capital. It's the home to prime designers, including Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Salon. It hosts the annual Paris Fashion Week, along with Milan, London, and New York. It is truly the heaven for shopping. It has 2 outlets, 19 shopping malls, and more than 20,000 shops. And one great is that they do offer tax-free shopping. That means if you're an international traveler outside of Europe, you can get 12% tax refund once you're leaving the country. The shopping malls are actually open on Sundays as well, and 12-week sales season. So for travel agents, you may be able to consider when to attract some of the shoppers during the sales seasons. Year-round events. Paris is not it's very seasonal destination, because all year round they have all types of events, including sports, music festivals, exhibits, fair and trade shows, congresses, and other events. Travel agents. What do travel agents need to know about setting Paris as a destination? Well, why is it important? There are a few benefits. First, groups are highly likely to purchase this product, especially for newly married couples, because they don't want to spend too much time or effort personalizing their trips. It's on partnership with restaurants or events. Relative high commission. Sorry, can you?
Yeah, we can still see it.
Okay. Relatively high commission, because there are a lot of sales revenue in Paris, and research actually shows that most of tourists that visit Paris tend to spend more money than other destinations. Paris has dynamic offering to meet different tourist market needs, and has potential repeat selling opportunities with other European destinations, based on the fact that Paris is very close to other major cities like London, Berlin, and Rome. What to offer? You can think of personalize the trip. This is especially important for honeymooners. Based on their interests, you can find out their venues, what a series of activities they want to do. FIT, meaning fully independent travelers. This is a huge trend that they usually want non-traditional offerings, so you may consider some of more unique offerings like villas or other activities. Film tours, this is mainly based on your interest. For example, photography, walking tour, biking tour, winery tour, art museum explorer tour. Packages are mostly events oriented. For example, Lollapalooza, a big festival coming up in summer in Paris. You may consider seeking a sponsorship and partnership with the festival to see if you can get like discounts on the tickets if you're packaging it together with the flights and accommodation. And some important tips for this. One is cross-selling. It is very important to encourage your customers to purchase like higher level or other services. For example, you may consider selling some wines and dining options while it's not included in the packages. Travel advices, because this is a foreign country, it is very important to advise your customers some of the different aspects of the information can be found on the embassy as well. Right timing. This is mainly for events. When it comes to promotion, big sports events or festivals, knowing what time is the best timing to promote your packages will be very important for travel agents to know, as well as pricing strategy. Regarding pricing strategy, you can add add-ons. For example, an additional winery to add this amount of money and such. How to sell? There are a few integrated marketing channels that I suggest, including digital media. Digital media is highly increasing nowadays, especially considering our tourism are usually online a lot. Direct marketing in a way that reaching out to customers directly, word of mouth. Some of that strategies can include, if you refer a friend or two, you can get discounts on your next trip or so. Print media, that means having ads on magazines or newspapers. Sales and promotion is very important to have a constant sales during some low seasons, events and sponsorships, as I mentioned earlier. Be very careful of what events are happening in Paris and try to seek sponsorship and partnership. So thank you for listening to my presentation. Now I'm open for questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, Brenda. So if anyone signed in via computer wants to submit any questions, you can do that via the chat box or the Q&A box.
Hi, Brenda. It's Ian Stalker. Do you know what kind of commissions Transat pays travel agents on its France programs?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Dan, can you repeat?
Oh, sorry. Do you know what kind of commissions Transat pays travel agents on its France packages?
For this reason, I cannot give you an answer based on the fact that for different transats, different flights, depends on the different timings and different destination, it all varies. So there is no fixed answer for that question. However, I will find out an average range for you if you're interested.
Okay, one other question. What would be some of the advantages of visiting Paris in fall, winter, or spring compared to summer?
Advantages or disadvantages?
Advantages.
Advantages. Well, there were a lot of events happening during winter time, actually, especially exhibit. For example, there's a Christian Dior exhibits that open until January, and there are some other events as well. And another advantage would be the climate. As I mentioned earlier, the weather there is generally 2 to 5 degrees during winter time, where I personally, Canadians would love to go travel somewhere warmer.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
Hi, this is Emily.
Hi.
I was just wondering, after you graduate, what kind of job or career would you like to have?
I was more thinking towards the marketing side in tourism industry.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I do believe that's it for the questions. But I'd like to thank everyone that tuned into the webinar today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And Brenda, thanks so much for your great presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks again for participating in the 2018 Baxter Student Ambassador Program, and we shall be in touch.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.